To the 4 to 5, Eric Chilton here alongside Monica Robinson and Stacy Spivey.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for watching the 4 to 5 right here on News 2. Also, Fire Stick, Roku, and the News 2 app for your TV, phone, or tablet.
There's a lot to get into this afternoon. Have you been outside today?
Yes,
It's
so
been
windy.
A lot of people hunkering their hair down as they walk outside today. A lot happening. So jumping right in, this is a look at Burlington. Temperatures currently 77 degrees, very warm, but you can see these flags waving here as winds are quite gusty and the clouds looking kind of ominous. Very similar, I would say, to like a Batman movie. As clouds begin to darken, our skies are going to start to change over the next several hours. This is a look not at temperatures, but at wind gusts. It's kind of hard to believe, but our max wind gusts reported for today so far in Greensboro, 41 miles per hour. That's really strong. That's even stronger than a tropical storm. So we're talking very strong wind gusts. Now I'm expecting for these to die down over the next several hours. Now a wind advisory has been issued for all of the triad until 7 p.m. Now, when you think about a wind advisory, like, I know what a warning is, I know what a watch is, advisory, that's kind of confusing. Well, a wind advisory means there are concerning threats with the wind, but not warranted where we have severe threat of 58-mile-per-hour winds. We're not that strong today, but the winds are very strong. Now, as we go through the next couple of hours, like I said, those winds will be dying down. We're starting to see them around 15, even 10 miles per hour through 10 p.m. So we're going to start to see them die down overnight. But look at this line. The rain, the storms, those aren't quite here yet. But as we go into your late Monday night and heading into the start of your Tuesday, we could be seeing some rain and hearing maybe some rounds of thunder. And this is the season for it. As we get into the spring weather, we start to talk about active weather. Now, the spring certainly keeps us busy in the triad, and we are jumping now into severe weather season where we have more active weather, and we're seeing that today. But there is more in store. Today is day 2 of North Carolina's Severe Weather Preparedness Week, and one of the best ways to get prepared is to educate yourself. The biggest confusion is between watch versus advisory versus warning. Like I said earlier, simply put, watch means something dangerous could happen. Warning means something dangerous is happening. And advisory means it's serious, but less serious than a warning.
Thanks, Monique. And turning now to your 4 to 5 roundup, where the search is on for the suspects involved in a double homicide. Winston-Salem police identified the victims as 20-year-old Toriana Gaskins and 19-year-old Trayshawn Milton. Last night, officers say Gaskins and Milton were in the car with 3 other people when a car started shooting at their car on Highway 52.
It is very disturbing to hear about something like that. It's very dangerous. Obviously, vehicles traveling at highway speeds, anything could happen. So that just makes things a lot more dangerous. Yeah, we're still searching for the persons responsible for it. We do not believe that it's a random act.
This is a developing story. Anyone with information is asked to leave an anonymous tip with Crime Stoppers.
So today, Piedmont Natural Gas will begin routine maintenance, and this may grab your attention. So if you're in the New Garden or Lawndale area in Greensboro, get this, you could see flames or hear loud noises over the next 2 weeks. The utility company says it's possible it'll need to burn off some excess gas from the gas lines, but they say it's safe and controlled, and all with the help of the fire department. All right, there are more medical emergency facilities available in the Triad now. Today, Cone Health unveiled its new freestanding emergency department on Drawbridge Parkway in Greensboro, just off Battleground Avenue. Officials say it gives people more flexibility than traditional emergency departments and is ready to take patients.
Turning now to a grim global COVID-19 milestone. New reports show the coronavirus has now killed 6 million people across the world. In some areas, including Eastern European countries and Hong Kong, deaths and cases are still high. In the U.S., the situation is better, with deaths, case numbers, and hospitalizations down sharply. Last week, the White House revealed its new COVID plan, focusing on stockpiling tests and treatment pills.
Well, as the federal government ramps up COVID protection plans, it's releasing another round of those free at-home tests now. The next orders begin in a few days, and it won't cost you shipping. Keep in mind, you're only allowed to get 8 test kits. So if you already have 4, this is your last go around here. More testing opportunities comes amid a major local update from the CDC. Right now, Guilford County is in the medium COVID risk category. The map was updated last week and previously showed the Piedmont Triad as red, meaning high risk of virus transmission. The decrease in severity allows for loosened mask recommendations and focuses on hospitalizations rather than case counts. We'll be right back. Stay there. I know it's Monday, but listen to this. Sipping your favorite beverage while shopping for your favorite items. Doesn't get much better than that. That's exactly what you can do in Greensboro this weekend. I spoke to Amanda Knepp about the popular Sip, Savor, and Shop event that's happening this Saturday. Amanda, this sounds like so much fun. I mean, describe what people will see when they come to this event.
Oh, they are going to see, they're going to walk in the event and first they'll be handed a beautiful 15-ounce complimentary wine glass filled with chocolates from one of our vendors, Prudence McCabe out of Mount Airy. They're going to walk through the event. They'll see there's a huge Instagram wall, a hedge wall where they can take photos for social media. There's a wine check area so we can encourage hands-free shopping. You'll see wineries and distilleries. We have several artisans and artists that will be there selling their items. We have a ton of food vendors, all North Carolina based, of course. Whether you like barbecue sauce or cheese straws or chocolates, we have something for everyone at the event.
You know, it's like I'm imagining the most relaxed shopping experience that you could ever have in one place. Is that kind of what we'll see?
You know, I wouldn't say relax. I would just say opportunity. There are so many different things to look at, sample, and buy that I don't think relax is the right word. In fact, I encourage our vendors and our shoppers to get in there and have a blast. We've got a DJ on site with high energy music to encourage just this fun environment of shopping and having a good time with friends in their community.
So tell me a little bit about the charity, Project Halo, and how this benefits that. What do they do?
Project Halo stands for Helping Animals Live On. It is a sanctuary that is North Carolina based, and basically dogs and cats that are living out their later years will go to the sanctuary. It's a hospice for animals. And she takes them in, and she is totally, it's at no cost to the person who has to give them up their pet, and she provides them with a warm, loving home, food, all their medical needs are covered, and she just sees them in their final days and makes sure they have a nice end of life experience.
This is all wonderful stuff. Thanks so much, Amanda. We'll see you there. All right, so I asked you on Facebook, tell me your favorite local winery or distillery. Karen says Four Saints in Asheboro, pet-friendly and a great atmosphere. Jared said Forgotten Road in Graham. They have great beers and they have a neat little disc golf putting course on the premises. I've never heard of that before. Zeb said Goose and the Monkey, Brewhouse and Bull City Cider Works in Lexington because they are awesome, great atmosphere and drinks as well. Terry said Red Oak Brewery in Whitsett. That's been around for a while. Bob Campbell said Hoots Beer Company, consistent quality and a great IPA in Gas Hopper there. And Kim said the Wiseman Brewery in Winston-Salem because my son-in-law sells for them, so she keeps it in the family. It just sounds like a fun event, and I was really intrigued by Project Halo. I had never heard of pet hospice, and she said this is wonderful work. So part of the proceeds of every ticket goes to that organization.
Yeah, that sounds like so much fun. I'm not a beer drinker myself, but I think that the cool thing about breweries is that they are often family friendly. They always have live music playing. It's just like a chill atmosphere, which makes it really fun. But I thought it was funny how she said this atmosphere at the Sip and what do you call it?
Sip, Savor, and Shop.
Lots of S's, yeah. That it's not relaxed, that it's a lot of fun and all for a good cause.
It's definitely one of those stories where I wish I had a pen and paper so I can make a list of all the places I need to check out, because I've not heard of a lot of those places on the list.
And actually, I hadn't either. Some of these were new because they're from other parts of the state that I don't get to quite as often. But she said when you get in there and you get the program, they got everything listed, what city and town they're from. So it'd be kind of a good checklist for folks that want to check out breweries. And a lot of people do that. They'd like to check off their list and try to hit all of them across the state. This is like a one-stop shop.
Yeah, great way to highlight local businesses and help the puppies.
That's right. I know that pet hospice thing. We'll have to look into that. All right, we're going to take oh, no, we're not. Thought we were going to take a break.
Yeah, it's actually, it's time for your daily You Day moment. Okay, so let's talk about You Day. Think about how you show the people close to you that you appreciate them. Listen as Coach Lamont shares a story about thanking those who sacrifice the most for us.
There was a blind woman who hated herself purely because she could not see. The only person she loved was her boyfriend, as he was always there for her. She said that if she could only see the world, she would one day marry him. Well, that day came when someone donated a pair of eyes to her. Now she could see everything, including her boyfriend. Her loving boyfriend asked her, "Now that you can see the world, will you marry me?" The woman was shocked when she saw that her boyfriend was blind too, and she refused to marry him. Her boyfriend walked away in tears and wrote a short note to her saying, "Just take care of my eyes, dear." It is imperative that we remember that regardless of what we are facing, never forget those who stood by you when you couldn't see, when you felt life was against you and they saw life for you. In those moments of blindness, others saw things that you couldn't see, even saw the beauty that is found in you. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best You Day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Of them, that was actually one of my favorite ones, because that took a twist that I didn't expect.
None of us, we were all listening, and then I was like, he just dropped a hammer on me today.
I was like, what?
I think it's because it was such like a harsh reality that it really made you think, oh my goodness, like this is so true. Think about how many times people tell you to do something or encourage you to do something or have advice for you and you do the exact opposite. But oftentimes a lot of people in your life, I'm just thinking about my husband Jake, he sees the better in it, or what the outcome could be that could possibly be better when I'm, things are foggy for me and I can't see past something small in my life.
It reminds me of I know you've seen it because it's been on a million plaques and pictures and portrait kind of things, but the Footprints story about, he said the guy was looking at his life as footprints on the sand, and God was with him. And he said, but I noticed when I went through tough times, there's only one set of footprints. Why would you leave me? And he said, that's when I was carrying you.
Wow.
And that's the same kind of, thing.
Eric, that's a good one too.
Well, that
like
one's been
that.
around. I can't take any.
Coach Chilton.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm thinking also too about in life, like when we are exposed to so many options, sometimes we forget the people who were with us. Like, when we level up and we grow up and we have access to more, we forget those who were holding us up back when we were younger and still growing and maturing, and then we level up and we forget. And it's like we can't forget those who had us and held us down when we were not so knowledgeable or not so much money in our bank account or whatever have you.
It's funny, as you get older, you see things in your past totally different. When you're a kid, you just don't get it, right? You don't know what your parents did for you. You don't understand that. And then you start to look back and you're like, oh, okay, now I got it.
Yeah. Now that I'm a parent, I'm like, okay, Mom, I'm really sorry.
I love you. Thank you.
I love you. Sorry for keeping you up all night. I'm sorry when I was a child.
I'm sorry to Coach Lamont, too, because now we're going to break, not before. We'll be back. Hello, fine Facebook people. What is happening?
Breweries.
Well, my most dreaded word to say. I hate saying
Breweries.
brewery because
It's hard.
Brewery.
It's kind of like rural. Rural is such a hard word.
Rural, and that's
Rural.
If there were a rural brewery, I'd just pass the story off to Monique.
I think ever since I've moved to North Carolina, though, I've realized the prominence of breweries.
They're
because,
everywhere.
like in
Yeah.
Jersey and stuff like that, we don't have breweries.
Oh, really?
Not like here. They're everywhere.
I know they named Asheville as the beer capital of the country, I think, because there's so many breweries in Asheville.
Jake's favorite one is there.
Wicked Weed?
Yep.
I love that place. And I'm not even a big beer drinker, but that place is so neat. Their food is good.
That's a lot of
smells weird
breweries
in
have
here.
good food.
Yeah, they do. I can hear, Monique, I hear you walking in the other studio.
Oh, my bad.
No.
No, it's good.
It's just funny that I just hear you.
So people are actually on our Facebook page talking about how windy it is. Monique's going to have the forecast in just a minute, but earlier, Monique, when you were talking about those wind gusts, like hurricane type winds, is that what you were saying?
Tropical storm
That's
force, I
wild.
think.
Yes, that's wild. It is very, very windy out. That's for sure. But I'm sure everyone enjoyed the weather this weekend. I mean, it is just the temperatures
Man,
are
it was
wonderful.
Nice. Yes. We had neighbors and kids over, and they were running all over the place. It was just like
Can
it
you
was
ask Stacy?
June. What'd you say, Monique?
No. I can read it. Just ask her to scroll.
Oh,
Oh, what part?
right after her weather, she's got a quick little.
Okay, yeah, I
push.
can definitely do that. So
Ask
I'm
us on
asking you on
Facebook.
Facebook,
Okay,
how
there you
did
go.
you take advantage of the weather this weekend?
Yeah, let us know.
On days like today, you want to always keep your eye on the radar, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. This is a cold front that's making its way closer and closer to the central Piedmont area. You can see the heavy rain crossing over the Tennessee-North Carolina border. As over the last couple of hours, we're already seeing a lot of those dark clouds that you're seeing are kind of leading the way and painting the picture as to what we're going to expect to see through this evening. The Storm Prediction Center does have a lot of the triad under a slight risk for severe weather, and areas east including Burlington and Asheboro under a marginal risk for severe weather level 1. Now, the primary concern that I'm seeing as of the trend over the last several days related to this line is focused on wind. So don't be alarmed by anything else but wind. But as we know, wind can definitely produce a lot of damage. And that's why we've been all talking about how there's a wind advisory and there's wind concerns as we continue through the late day of your Monday. So again, breaking it down, hail, tornado, flooding on the low end of things, but wind certainly something to watch out for tonight as we go through the rest of your Monday. Rain moving in a little bit closer. Folks in Winston-Salem seeing it first as of 6 p.m. The main line kind of crossing our area between 6 and 8 p.m. And then as we go into tonight, some lingering heavy rain showers scattered through about 10 p.m. And then after that, we'll see some clearing. And then you can see overnight, we're just going to be dealing with some clouds into the early part of your Tuesday morning. We could see a stray shower or two, but things should be drying out and we should be able to get some clearing conditions for the latter part of your Tuesday. Have yet to show the 7-day yet, but here is that full 7-day for you, including next weekend and the start to next week. Now, I know you see it on there. Those temperatures are going to be falling Saturday night and then going into the 20s. So we are in spring, but we're still around that time of year where weather conditions can still get quite cool. We're not set in stone in just getting those very spring-like warm temperatures. So as I said, active weather today. Make sure to stay weather aware by keeping our free WFMY News 2 app close. It's easy to download from either the Apple or Google Play Store. There you'll have the latest weather updates right in the palm of your hand.
So imagine that you sing the national anthem once in a while, okay? You're about to sing it in front of the biggest crowd that you've ever sung in front of. We're talking more than 70,000 people. But then things go a little bit south. That's exactly what happened to Michelle Brooks Thompson Saturday night in Charlotte. Yep, the mic went out just as she was belting out the anthem in front of that 74,000 plus fans. That is what happened there. Her microphone went out. The tech crew was working to fix the issue when the entire stadium took it upon themselves to finish the song. Michelle's mic did come back, but was still drowned out by the more than 74,000 people singing. They said people were crying. It was such a moving experience. She said she'd love to come back, maybe give it a go another day. That crowd of 74,479 fans, by the way, set a record. It was the largest to ever watch a minor league soccer game. That is cool. I feel sorry for her, but that's a cool experience.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, at least, you know, they all decided to chime in, but 74,000 people, can you imagine them all singing at the same time? I mean, you could kind of hear it there, but being there in person.
It was huge.
Yeah. I was also thinking, I wonder what the Guinness World Record is for the largest quantity of people singing that song. So I was wondering, maybe they might have broke a record even
they could
doing
have.
that all together.
They probably need to examine that. It's funny.
Or submit it and see if it is true.
I was at lunch on Friday, and the gentleman sitting next to me, we just struck up a conversation, and he said, we're trying to set the record for he was from the Charlotte FC, the football club in Charlotte. He said, we're trying to set that record, and we're trying to get people in the triad to drive down the way, and apparently they did, because they did set that record at least.
Quick question, Eric, so where do you eat lunch? So I need to be around some folks who are doing great things.
That particular one was Natty's, but that's...
That's a good place.
Yeah.
I like their food.
It was interesting, though, and he said that, and then we run this story, and I thought, but I think you may be right, Monique. You may be onto something, because that may be the largest crowd to ever saw it.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. We'll see. All right, we'll take a break. We'll see you in about 2 minutes.
Calling all Saturday morning cartoon fans. Remember when you'd crowd around the TV and enjoy a big bowl of your favorite sugary breakfast treat? Well, today is National Cereal Day, and we're talking about the best of the best. Is it Lucky Charms, Raisin Bran? No, it's not that. Or good old-fashioned Wheaties. Well, here's a bit of history. Back in the late 1800s, Dr. John Harvey Kellogg experimented with granola. He boiled some wheat, rolled it into thin films, and baked the resulting flakes in the oven. We now know that food as corn flakes. In 1895, he launched the cereal, which overnight captured a national market. So, which cereal do you like the most?
Frosted mini wheats, frosted flakes, cinnamon toast crunch. I kind of eat it all.
I like a
mini
bunch
wheats
of it too.
are good.
My wife has a problem with cereal. We have, I'm not kidding when I say that, I'm not exaggerating, about 11 different kinds that she keeps on this one shelf. Of course, the kids love it, but I'd say for me growing up, it was Fruit Loops and Cocoa Puffs. I love those two sweet things. But now I'm a Cheerios fan, but I still put a little
Honey
bit of
nut
sugar.
or like regular?
Oh, I like Honey Nut also. Yeah, in fact, probably better for you than when I take Cheerios and put a teaspoon of sugar on it.
Yeah, that's okay.
I know. That defeats the purpose of why don't you just buy sugary cereal.
As an adult, I eat the, I can't even think what it's called, but it has little pieces of chocolate. I think it's Special K, the chocolate Special K.
Oh, yeah.
That's my adult cereal, but I absolutely love Captain Crunch.
I do
That's
too.
my fave.
Good.
It just gets stuck in your teeth, but man, it tastes so good.
Have you seen the one now? They call it, it's Captain Crunch, but it's called Oops All Berries. And it's all the berries. They take the little gold, whatever those things are, out. My kid, Tyler loves those. Oops All Berries.
Do you guys saturate it in milk though?
I like a lot of milk. Nobody else in my family does.
I like a lot of milk, almond milk though. I don't like regular milk.
I like almond.
I drink oat milk, but I don't like it when it's too soggy though.
Yeah.
I gotta
You have
eat
to
it
eat
quick.
fast. Yes. I agree. All right. Let us know, please, your cereal preferences on Facebook. We'll do that.
Oh, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together like a classic combination. Yeah.
Hello. That's Stacy's mic.
Hey George, mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6. We're so happy to have you join us this week.
Hello. Check, check. 1 2. Why don't you play some old school 80s, George? Bumping into brakes like we used to before copyright. That's right.
Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I like that. I like that.
Hey there, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Eric Chilton along with Stacey Spivey, and Monique Robinson is right there. There she is.
There she is. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for watching the 4 to 5 right here on News 2, also on Fire Stick, Roku, and the News 2 app for your TV, phone, or tablet.
Let's get right to it. That wind advisory happening now across the Triad and continuing until 7 p.m. We roughly have 2.5 hours still on it. We've been seeing these strong wind gusts across the area and overall just very strong winds. You can see these flags in Burlington continue to just whip towards the eastern direction as these winds come out of the south-southwest. Now I want to flip over to the Greensboro cam. You can't see the flags, but you can kind of see at times this camera does get a little bit shaky with those winds at 18 miles per hour. That current temperature is 75 degrees and the dew point's in the 50s as that front continues to head our way and the chance of rain increases and even storms as we go into tonight. That cloud cover stretching all across the area, but I want to talk about the temperatures because it is quite warm, but over the last several days we've been seeing some very warm days, but unfortunately that's going to come to an end after this front crosses our area. 77 the current temperature in Burlington, 76 in Winston-Salem, 79 down in Troy, but you'll see the temperature trend for the next couple of days gets cooler. 49 degrees the forecast high on Wednesday. 30 degrees, nearly cooler than what we're feeling right now. So we're talking very cold temperatures trending that way as we end out the week and also featuring some unsettled weather. Today isn't the only day you might need the umbrella. You'll certainly need it again on Wednesday as more rain moves in. As always, make sure to stay weather aware by keeping our free WFMY News 2 app close by. It's easy to download from either the Apple or Google Play Store. There you'll have the latest weather updates right in the palm of your hand.
Monique, thank you. Developing right now, the price for nearly everything is through the roof. Right now, we're tracking record price increases at the gas pump and the grocery store.
Yeah, a gallon of fuel is averaging more than $4, and with tensions still high in Ukraine, economists expect it to get worse over the next 6 months. Russia supplies nearly a third of the world's wheat, which means shoppers could see a rise in prices for items like cereal, bread, and even meat, since some farmers rely on wheat to feed their livestock.
Amid the rise in cost, we want to know what you're spending the most on right now. I posted this question on Facebook. My page was flooded with comments. Shay wrote, natural gas last month's bill was double last year's price, but was nearly the same usage. Candace says food prices are outrageous. Doesn't matter if you're eating out or buying groceries. Barbara says rent. For Debbie, it's gas, food, and utilities. June adds food. Just noticed today that not only have prices gone up, the quantity in some of the things you buy have gone down. Quaker oatmeal boxes now have 8 packs in them. They used to have 10. Brittany says specific foods like spaghetti sauce, hamburger, and chicken. She's also noticed the price of laundry detergent. And Mary says gas, groceries, and electricity. That seems to be a common factor here. And then Aaron said food, fuel, and my patience. Yeah, I think so. I think that's what we're all seeing. I'm telling you, I had over 50 comments and the majority said food and gas.
Yeah.
If you look at everything that everybody listed, though, what's left.
Right.
I mean, it's everything. It is.
My bills are getting too high, okay?
Yep.
When I saw my gas bill last month, I was like, what? So I'm not excited for what's coming up for the end of this month. But last month, it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
Time
and I
to
mean,
get some coupons.
everyone's saying that their rent's going up, daycare is going up too. I mean, it's literally everything that you can think of.
Daycare was already expensive.
Way too much.
I mean, I know some friends of mine that have little ones and they're paying $900 to $1,000 a month for full-time, if you have to have full-time daycare, and most people do these days. I don't know, I'm sure that the number of single-income families has to be dropping. You know what I mean? Like, especially now.
So you think people are getting more married?
No, I'm thinking like people will go, if somebody was a stay-at-home parent, a man or a woman, they're probably going to have to figure out a way to try to get back to at least part-time something, you know?
Because a lot of times they're staying at home because the cost of daycare is so expensive. So
It really is.
You can let us know. But with all these prices continuing to rise, people will probably start making some changes to be able to afford the cost of living. We went straight to an expert to find out some ways to save, especially when it comes to grocery shopping. Natasha Walker is a financial consultant in Greensboro. She also runs a Facebook group to help people with couponing. Here are the 5 key points she says to live by to save money at the grocery store. Find coupons, plan your meals, make a grocery list, use the cart method, which I'll explain in a minute, and make a budget. So let's go ahead and break that down for you. First up, coupons. Walker says treat coupons like cash. She says the easiest way to get one is the Sunday paper. She also recommends saving printed coupons you get with those receipts. If you're new to couponing, she suggests joining a Facebook group. Well, before you even go to the grocery store, plan out your meals for the week. She suggests Googling cheap and easy meals to make your life a little easier. And then once you plan your meals for the week, time to make that grocery list. Look back at the coupons you have and put those items down that you may need. One life hack Walker mentioned, use the cart method. That means go to the grocery store's app or even Instacart and put all the items you need in there, but don't check out. That way you can see exactly what price you're expected to pay at the store before you even go. And lastly, make a budget. This is often the most challenging thing to do, but Walker recommends using an app like Mint that can help you plan out everything, or just a simple monthly budget sheet. Whatever you do, the best advice she has is to never go into a grocery store without a plan.
Making sure that you go in with a list. Have some sort of idea of what you're going to purchase while you're in the grocery store. This will play a huge role in reassuring that you're buying things that you need, and then also that you're not overspending. You're not going to pick up anything less than what's on your sheet. And it's almost like an accountability thing.
Walker says we cannot estimate what's going to happen next with the economy, but we can always plan and budget to help save at the store.
All right, so maybe the kids want a pet, but you know how much extra work that is and how much extra expense that is, and what you really want is help around the house. So how about we just name this guy Sparky and everyone just is happy with that? Do you think that will work? A little spring cleaning without the extra effort of a dog? Does that work, my friends?
Cheaper in the long run than
I
having
said
the dog.
boo, boo. Those things are scary. My mom, when she first bought one and we had him in the house, it started moving. I was like, what is moving? And then we realized what it was.
What it was. Mm-hmm. Monique, I see me and you several times.
Sorry.
It's all about us. No, that's
Yeah,
good.
where am I?
No, that's good. That's good.
No.
Is Stacy?
We're getting to Stacy at some point.
We're getting there.
There she
There
is.
I am.
Hello,
You know, we have one of these and it truly is such a help. Even though the dog is afraid of it, it does pick up his hair that's everywhere.
Yes, and that's kind of like free entertainment when the dog is afraid of it.
That's right.
Free entertainment.
Just a little free entertainment. Come on. All right. So March is one of those months. It's winter-ish. It's spring-ish.
That is true.
Right? So Consumer Reports says stores have sales on both seasons right now.
March is the first month of the year without any major shopping moments, so you don't necessarily see as many sales, but there are still discounts. Retailers use this month to offload previous year's inventory to make room for new products, and that translates to savings for shoppers.
The iRobot Roomba i3 is now $500 at ABT Electronics, Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart. This is a savings of about $89. Consumer Reports tests show this robotic vacuum earns top scores in its pet hair pickup tests. The Blue Air Classic 605 air purifier, it's now on sale for $507 at Amazon. Yeah, it's pricey, but it earns top scores for particle removal, and it's $300 off the normal price. Here's the spring offering. The Ego cordless string trimmer is a Consumer Reports Best Buy. It's $179 at Walmart. The winter offering is the Lasco Designer Series space heater, also a Best Buy, $65 at the Home Depot.
All right, so heaters and things on the way out. Sales there because the stores are still stocked with heaters, and that's why you're seeing sales on spring long things. So my question is March a typical month where you spend or where you save? You know, there's certain months that are higher spendy, savey months.
I think for us it would be, we're not quite to the spending month yet because we like to do things for summer. You know, if I'm going to do stuff, it'll be yard or make an entertaining area or something like that. So we'll start spending around late April and May and for the summer.
Gotcha, okay.
I think my car chose it to be a spending month.
Yeah.
It told you that. Yes.
Sometimes you
Yes.
don't get a choice in that. That is for sure. Yeah.
So March, in my family, there are a lot of March birthdays, so it tends to be somewhat of a spending month. And I would imagine a lot of families that have kids in school, a lot of times spring break is during March, so that's probably a lot of spending too.
Yeah, I do think though that with folks not getting all of their tax money back, you know, there's backlogs IRS-wise, there's backlogs North Carolina state-wise, that maybe this year March will not be the spending month, and maybe it's going to be April or May will be the spending month. But that's just my guess.
Well, let's go ahead and turn now to the humanitarian crisis deepening in Eastern Europe. Right now, Ukraine is bracing for the worst as Russian threats increase and basic supplies grow scarce. Officials say Moscow is using medieval-style tactics to batter Ukraine into submission. Today, leaders from both countries discussed safe routes for civilians to escape the fighting. Russia's top negotiator says he expects those corridors to finally start functioning tomorrow. Well, in the middle of crisis in Ukraine, moments of happiness are fleeting. One Ukrainian couple found a reason to smile. Lisa and Rivalry have been together for 22 years, and I probably said their names wrong, but they made their union official Sunday when they got married on the defense line. Lisa left her job to fight when the war started and hadn't seen her partner until Sunday when they officially tied the knot. The mayor of Kyiv and his heavyweight boxer brother came to congratulate the newlyweds. The bride says, "We are determined to push back the enemy and take back our lands and win." What a sweet moment.
I love that.
Amid such a horrible thing going on over there. It just really makes you appreciate the little things in life, like love. I guess that is a big thing in life.
That's a big thing.
That's a very big thing in life.
You need love. Everybody wants love, needs
right.
love. And I think when you find the right person, I mean, no matter what's going on in the world, you just need to go to that altar. You got to create it wherever you can. But it's beautiful to see. It's been a story that's been circulating a lot. I've seen it a lot on social media and stuff.
So I couldn't get my smartphone out quick enough, but Friday night my wife and I went out to eat with another couple at a restaurant in downtown Greensboro, and the couple behind us, he asked her to marry her. So we heard, yes, exactly what you just did. We heard in the restaurant this collective, oh, and then we turned around and he was down on one knee and they were both crying. It was so sweet. And everybody was applauding and buying them, you know, champagne and stuff. It was really neat.
That's
I haven't
so
seen
sweet.
one of those in person in a while.
Yeah, I haven't either. I mean, with everything that's going on, you just really appreciate things like that.
Yes.
It really makes you hold on to the ones you love much tighter. I mean, I don't know if y'all saw how the Dancing with the Stars alumni pro, he had been in Ukraine to judge a dancing competition over there, and he finally made it back home. And y'all, the embrace of him and his wife was the sweetest thing I've ever seen. It was just so emotional.
It's the little things, take us back to the basics that really matter. Yep. We'll take a break. Coming back. Hey, earlier in the show, we talked about that Sip, Savor, and Shop event coming up this Saturday at the Greensboro Coliseum Special Event Center. But there's a distillery that will be represented there, a North Carolina distillery that has an incredible backstory. I talked with Scott McClure of 7 Jars Winery and Distillery about their beginnings. Hey man, thank you so much for taking time out today. Let's talk a little bit about your distillery, because I know when I was speaking with folks that are familiar with it, they said there's a really cool backstory with you.
Yeah, my father-in-law was a fellow by the name of Frank Ratcliffe. Frank was very entrepreneurial and was much older than my mother-in-law, but around 1930 opened a club in downtown Charlotte where he sold what was called tax-paid liquor. At the end of Prohibition, all Congress really did was threw it back to the individual states, and the good folks in Florida were one of the first to pass a privatized liquor system. Well, my father-in-law organized to go down and bring tax-paid liquor back to Charlotte, and for the next 20 years out of this nightclub was the primary source of liquor for all of this part of North Carolina.
So now this tradition goes on, right? It's continuing through you guys. Tell me a little bit about your distillery and what you guys make.
So currently in the distillery, we're making 2 whiskeys, a vodka, a flavored vodka, and a bourbon product for the actress Ava Gardner, who's from Smithfield, North Carolina. And we're also making 4 wines for Ava over in the winery side.
Now with this event in Greensboro, what will you guys be doing? What will we get to see there?
We will be bringing our 4 Ava Gardner wines, and we'll be able to taste all of those, learn a little bit more about our backstory. And this particular festival promoter does an excellent job with focusing in on North Carolina products.
This is great. Love the backstory, buddy. We'll see you out there.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check.
Well, that line of showers and storms is making its way closer and closer to the central Piedmont area, widening that view. You can see it crossing into the mountains and making its way into the central Piedmont very soon. Here are the main things you need to know. Gusty winds continuing till about 7 p.m. That main line moving through and ending and clearing right around 8 p.m. And then the rain tapers off for the late evening, and then winds will calm down as well. And then Tuesday will be a much cooler day. So here's the 7-day once again for you. You get to see it through the weekend and start to next week. You could see tomorrow is kind of one of the warmer days, and that's just a 61, which is at least 10 degrees cooler than what we're feeling right now. So we're talking a very cool day tomorrow, and temperatures cool thereafter. You can see on Wednesday, very cold. But with many rain chances on there, it's important to stay weather aware by keeping your WFMY News 2 weather app close by. It's easy to download it from your Apple or Google Play Store, and there, right in your hand, you'll have the latest weather updates.
Well, we say this all the time. The Triad is just full of talent, and today's no different.
Absolutely. The new ACC Coach of the Year is now Wake Forest University's own Steve Forbes, head coach of the men's basketball team. Our Amanda Ferguson caught up with Coach and has more on this amazing honor. Big deal, Amanda.
It is a big deal. In his second season at Wake Forest, Steve Forbes earns the ACC Coach of the Year. He's the 5th Wake Forest coach to receive this honor, the first since 2003. Coach talked to us about this recognition.
You know, the Coach of the Year award is a humbling accomplishment. It's not an individual award, guys. I've won these, before. It's a team. It's about the staff. It's about the program. It's just a reflection of all the hard work we've put in since we got the job, and it's been a lot. A lot of belief, a lot of resilience. I understand the historical significance of the award, and I'm honored.
I mean, you think about this. I think this is well deserved. I mean, nobody expected them to do as well as they did. They had ups and downs during the season, some injuries and stuff. But I think where he started with them and where he ended up with them is the reason he got this. I mean, Amanda, surely he understands what a big deal this is.
It is a big deal, especially with all the coaches in the ACC. You've got Coach K, you've got Hubert Davis. With all these coaches have done a great job this year. But that's the point that I was going to say, is that he's done such a good job at Wake Forest. They only won 6 ACC games last year. They doubled that and some this year. So that's a really impressive thing to do in your second season.
Yeah, and we have Scott, one of our sales representatives here, is a huge Wake Forest fan and graduate. He said, we were talking about it today because the Player of the Year did not go to Armando Bacot, and I was arguing with him. He goes, look, just give us Coach of the Year, okay? We deserve that much. Yeah, congratulations. Congratulations. That's awesome. We'll do that.
Oh. Mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6. Check check check. Mic check.
Hey, it is you and me, Stacy. Hey, Callie.
It's like Christmas all over.
Mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mic check 1 2.
Hello, we're doing some of that glorious inside weather today. Inside weather.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. I hear myself now. Am I at A-Tech? Yes.
So it's time for my 2 cents. I don't know if you heard, there was a little basketball game Saturday. Now wait before all you Duke fans get mad and start throwing things at the TV, because I make no bones about it, I'm a Carolina diehard, right? But I thought about this. What would I talk about in my 2 cents? Do I say what I should say? Do I say what I want to say? And then I said, you know what? I'm going to say what both teams' fans would say. I know, there is one thing that Carolina and Duke fans probably always agree on. It is the greatest rivalry, if not the greatest rivalry in all of sports. In the top 3, no doubt. I went back and looked up some of this. Sports Illustrated called it, of course, the greatest college basketball rivalry in history, but they said it's the 2nd greatest rivalry of all time. ESPN, in a 2000 poll, said it is the 3rd greatest in North American sports history. That's huge. Now look at the numbers. They're 8 miles apart. We hear this all the time. But think about this. They played each other 256 times since 1920. So a little more than 100 years. Carolina has won 141 of those, Duke won 15, still relatively close. But it's the combined numbers when it comes to their big accomplishments that is mind-blowing. 29 of the ACC tournament championships have been Carolina or Duke. That's almost half. 51 of the 65 regular season titles, it was either Carolina or Duke. And when you add the two together, there are 36 Final Fours and 11 national titles between the two schools. I heard Coach K once say in a documentary about the rivalry, and this was incredible. He said, I looked at this, and if you take all of their big accomplishments, total wins, Final Four appearances, national titles, NCAA appearances, if you were to add the numbers from Carolina and Duke together, he said it's more than most other conferences have for all of their teams in those conferences. So no matter which shade of blue you are, there's always a win, there's always a loss. We can all know that it is the greatest rivalry in sports, and we get to be a part of it. Go Heels. That's just my 2 cents. I had to get it in there. That's just the 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
The wind continues to gust across the triad, pushing rain and the chance of storms closer and closer.
So close that we've actually moved Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley inside to do the weather today so we could turn our generator on. Tim, how is the radar looking right now?
Yeah, we're keeping an eye on it. At the moment, guys, there's no threat of